Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody today?
Pretty good.
Good, thanks. So we're talking about innovation in progress. So again, another societal issue that surrounds this world of cyber. And the author we're going to talk about is Wendell Berry, and the title of his article is Why I'm Not Going to Buy a Computer. We call Wendell Berry a man of letters. He strictly conveyed his thought through written work. A lot of nonfiction work. He has some fiction titles to his credit, but for the most part, anytime you saw him, it was through written work. He submitted a lot of articles to New York Times. He wrote pieces for other papers, and again, his own books. Some of his history of activism is important because it kind of sets the stage for what you're going to read in a second. His activism dates back to 1968 when he delivered a statement against the war in Vietnam. Why is it important? Much of our focus is on the advancement of technology, right? How we're using technology to further enhance our lives, those around us, society, but make sure we're not overstepping our bounds. We want to maintain that relationship, that kind of human-technology relationship, and make sure that things don't get out of control. So much of our focus has been on the advancement of technology. This piece critiques the thought of technological innovation as progress. The article was published in 1990, so before all of you were alive. But if you've heard stories or seen movies or things that have taken place in that decade, consider what technology looked like. So before I give you this, what did technology look like in the 90s?
It was more like digital type things that were not high-tech graphics in the things that they use. It were more simple machines with that use batteries and stuff like that.
So we had desktops. There were no laptops yet. Well, there might have been a laptop or two, but for the most part it was desktops. We didn't have cell phones yet. You're going to see this, and the first 2 pages are the article, the front and back, and then everything else is responses to his article. So I'll ask you to read the article and then challenge you to read a couple of the responses that were written in as a result of this article. Take a look at a couple of the public reception to his article. Some were positive, some were negative. Try and find one from each. But read through the article first and then read a couple of the opinions. All right? Let me get you this now. You can write on this, mark it up, whatever you have to do. There's 3 copies for you guys, one for you, and 4 for the back. Thanks. So we'll give you about 5 minutes to read through this, and then we'll come back with the Q&A and then the activity.
There you go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What'd you think? Thoughts right out of the gate? You've had time to read the Berry article and a couple of editorials. What do you think? Do you agree with Berry? Do you like Berry? Do you appreciate his point of view? Or do you hate Berry?
I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, he's a subsistence farmer, right? He lives off the land. What's his right out of the gate, what's his first complaint?
That everyone's stuck on energy corporations.
Sure, and that seems reasonable coming from him, right? That we should reduce our dependence on the energy corporations. He goes on and on talking about being slaves to coal and strip mining coal, but you kind of understand where he's coming from. 1990s, he was honestly pretty silent in the 90s. 70, 79, 2003. There wasn't much that I could find that he participated in between then, other than writing. So he wasn't taking a stand on anything there. He wasn't locking arms in front of this DC-fired coal plant. He could have been doing any number of other things to prove himself a conservationist. I think just talking about this article, talking about his habits, doesn't make him a conservationist. So these are his 9 ideals, his 9 standards for technological innovation. And this is the focus of part 2 today. Did you read through these? Do you agree? Pretty relevant, right? So. Which one Anyone in particular stands out?
I think the first one does.
Okay, the new tool should be cheaper than one it replaces. But I think it's a great ideal. If we can shoot for this new tool should replace the previous one at a cheaper price point, I think everyone would hope for that. Okay. So your challenge today is to come up with your own list of technological standards. What should we expect from new devices? Barry's got some great ideas. If you want to capitalize on some of that, I challenge you to think outside the box and come up with your own standards. And then we're going to take a look at your lists and decide, if we apply these, what wouldn't have been able to kind of, come out, and is it really a step forward, or like we asked in the beginning, is not all technological advancements a step forward? All right. So I've got some poster board. I got some markers. If you guys want to work as one group or two groups, I'll leave that up to you. So great discussion. Thanks for that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 points. So, we compare to Barry's. I like some of what you've got, and I've got one I'm going to pick apart. All right. So, what do you want to contribute? How did these get up there? What thoughts did you have? Who wants to explain the first one? Reasonable cost.
You're going to buy different things for different reasons. Like, yeah, there's like the computer that's generalized.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of different types of computers for different types of jobs.
Okay.
They're not all going to cost the same.
So I have to find something that fits my need, and I don't want to pay too much for it. Okay, I agree with that. I can buy that. How are these devices going to pay for themselves? Anybody?
They should make your life better, make it more efficient, not just feel like you're wasting money.
Okay. So they're not going to go out and do the work, but they should make us more efficient at doing our work. Therefore, the trade-off is maybe I'll have more time on the weekends. Right, so something like that. I like that. Needs to pay itself off. So going back to the first question, are technological advancements always good? No. Plastic was a great invention at the time. We have overused it. Rechargeable batteries are horrendous on the environment, and they don't put out as much voltage. There's no way I can get pound for pound the same power out of a rechargeable battery that I can out of a disposable battery. We're done. Thank you, everybody. Great conversation. Wendell Berry, if you hear his name again, remember this conversation. It's good stuff. All right. Thanks, all.